I agree the interest rates are still low. However, the problem is that prices are stagnating but not going significantly down. This is actually, I love YouTube so much. If you go back 9 months, 6 months, whatever, this is exactly what I was saying actually. Then when all of you were, or not all of you, you guys seem pretty smart, when some were saying, oh, it's all gonna crash and everything. And I said, no, it's not. Told you so. 4.5% interest for a 700K apartment is currently not affordable. Yeah, we had this a lot today, that real estate is expensive. I think the solution for you will be to start smaller. So a 700K apartment, maybe you're talking about a home in that case, then this would be too much for your current financial situation. Then what Vanessa said earlier, start small. Start with a rental, 100K, 200K, pay it off for a year or two, build that free equity, and then scale from then on, leverage and scale towards your home eventually.
Yeah. Or if this is a bigger property and you can do a VG concept here, then obviously you're going to have a better ROI. Even if you're having 4.5% interest rate, you're going to see. So you're not going to be that much in minus. It depends on the calculation. Yeah. But if it's a primary home, for sure. It is. And look at this. If it's a primary home, VH, there is nothing deductible, right? And then I believe it's a lot. 4.5% not deducting is a lot. And this is what we tell to our to people. Why going now for a primary home? Like, if you're not necessarily have to move out that property where you are or renting, why you want to go for a primary home right now? If you get a good deal, again, it's a different story, but why? Better go for a smaller investment and you can deduct it.
Yeah. I think this is very similar to a meeting that I had earlier this week, actually, because it's highly highly personal. If we have 700K, which is what you're mentioning, right? And then 4.5% interest, let's say 4.5 plus 2% principal would be 6.5% per year. That means he would pay 45,500 euro only for the mortgage, divided by 12. That would mean 3,800 euros, let's say roughly, 3,800 per month only for the mortgage. Then there's Hausgeld, insurance, water, electricity, internet, rubbish, GEZ, all that type of stuff. And this sounds very similar like a meeting that I had earlier this week with someone who pays currently 1,000 euros in rent and was also about to buy a property. And he calculated it's going to be 3,000 euros for a mortgage. And then I said, okay, then we're basically talking about probably 3,500 euro rent versus buy, because in rent, all of this is already included, right?
Exactly.
And then I said, severely think about it, because 1,000 euros renting, yes, it's a waste of money. I know what you guys think, it's not. But 1,000 euros wasted, but still you have 2,500 euros more that you can invest.
Yeah.
And if you buy for 3.5K, I don't know. I mean, I'm renting, but I would rather rent for 1,000 euros and invest 2.5 and buy rental properties with it, or ETFs or German real estate or whatever, than having a home for 3,500 euros.
Absolutely. And even you might not understand it right now or imagine it right now, but after 10 years, believe me, yourself, you're going to be thankful. Yourself is going to thank you, say, good that I did that. And at the end, if people think, oh, a primary home is an investment. No, guys, it's not an investment. That was before. That's kind of an old mentality, to be honest. We live in a time where you have to invest and you have a big burden behind you. Yes, you're paying the rent for your own, but again, as Axel said, your all additional costs were coming to you. There is not a third person, a tenant. You obligate that work to a third person who pays out your debt. How amazing is that? In this case, you're the only one. Later on, if you're not in a rush, just invest your money, build equity, and get that. Because, I mean, what I always say, with our own salary, if you are employed, even if you're self-employed, with your own salary, you're not gonna get wealthy. And all these people out there, they're not wealthy with their own so they
depends on your
salary.
on your salary and your definition on wealthy, but
But you know what? It's like
yes, generally I agree. Most people, yes. If we take the average, then yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like if you were like, I don't know, 3K net or so, like just average in
Which is
Germany.
already a really good salary.
Exactly. This is what I mean. So you kind of have to see where you're gonna go. Probably have a family, whatever. So you really wanna double your money here. Yeah, but
my mom actually said this when I was calling her like a couple of weeks ago. That she said her house, because they bought a house 10 years ago or something, and now they're looking for a new one. And then she said, yeah, the house is an investment because it doubled in value. And I'm like, great, but what about the other houses around? Because she kind of made the same mistake, right? She said, I bought the house for, I don't even know, let's say 150, and now it's worth 300. I doubled my money. Great, but the other houses around you also doubled in value, so you actually got nothing.
Yeah. Yes, that's
you can still afford the same as you could 10 years ago.